Hello everyone, it's Natalie. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. Look, I come out here in the Joy Garden uh, when the temperature is right. And it is perfect right now. I can't get out here in the heat of the day. I just can't do it. I can't make it. So right now it's going towards 6 o'clock. This is the perfect time. There's a cool breeze in the air. Uh, we've been experiencing temperatures in the mid 90s in my area. Like it was 96 degrees one day this week. So right now, it's perfect. So I'm gonna go and do my little garden walkthrough. I didn't get a chance to do it this morning because I had other things to do this morning. And normally that's when I like to come out, check everything in the morning, um, and maybe I may water some of the plants to make sure that it has enough moisture in the soil to help the plant get through the hottest point of the day, to get through the heat of the day actually. And so I didn't have to do that this day because yesterday, late afternoon, it rained pretty heavy. So everything was good and saturated. So that bought me some time. I didn't have to water everything this morning. And I'm looking at everything in the garden right now, and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough and just show you how everything is progressing. And there's only one thing new that I can show you. And another thing, I've started my seedlings. I've dropped seeds for things that I'm going to plant in the fall. And so that's another thing, you guys. That's a good idea if you have the time to go ahead and start dropping some seeds and prepare for fall. Drop your seeds for your brassicas. Come on, your cabbage and your broccoli, y'all. I've dropped seeds for cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and what else? Oh, pak choi. And I didn't say bok choy, I said pak choi. Pakchoi. Pak choi. It's Chinese cabbage. It's like a smaller version of bok choy, I believe. So I have seeds for that in the soil over there. I'm trying to create my seedlings for fall. Um, so that's another thing that we can be doing right now. When we can't be outside in our garden, that's something you can do inside. Is go ahead and get your seedlings started for the fall. Um, and another thing, I just wanted to say, one of the reasons why I feel like the garden is still nice and green and it's not dying out is because of those preventive measures that I took. Adding the shade cloth was a good idea, y'all. Adding the shade cloth, making sure everything was mulched with a good thick layer of mulch, and also sticking to my watering schedule, coming out here and watering, making sure the soil is always evenly moist. And there's another thing I wanted to share with you about how I water. I use this little hose that has a long nozzle on it. And what I do is I kind of just water around the base of the plant, make sure that area around there is good and saturated. Because I was told that the roots will begin to expand outward, searching for that water. So not directly at the base of the plant, but a couple of inches away from the base of the plant. I try to keep that area around the base of the plant good and saturated. It prevents root rot because I'm not right in the center where the roots are right now. I want the roots to expand outwards. So I kind of leave like a little area of water, moisture around the base of the plant so the roots can go just begin to expand outwards. So that was something I learned. I hope I explained that where you can understand me. But I'm not placing that nozzle right at the base. And I'm trying to avoid wetting the leaves. The leaves are going to get wet regardless. With rain and morning dew and all of that, you're going to have some wet leaves, and you may have to deal with those leaf diseases that comes from that. But I try the best that I can not to wet the leaves when I water. And also I try to make sure that I cut those bottom leaves, prune those bottom leaves that are near the soil, because a lot of those diseases come from bacteria that's in the soil, right? So um, that's one of the things that I feel like that's been a major thing that keeps the garden looking as good as it's doing right now. I'm pleased with it. So I'm going to turn around and let you guys see what's going on. And basically, right now, I think we're all just basically maintaining what we have in the garden right now. We're just trying to keep what we have in the garden healthy, and we're harvesting as we go. And, also, like I said, preparing for fall. You're always ready to move on to that next season. It's been a pretty decent summer. It's been really, really hot, but I cannot complain. I have been harvesting almost every day. I have been getting my share of okra, my share of peppers, and cucumbers. Um, so I can't complain. I can't complain. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let you see what's going on and show you the new things that I planted, which is only one thing. So let's start over there. All right, you guys. Oh, it looks pretty good too. Under that 50% shade cloth. And being held up by little tomato cages. That is yellow squash. I'll take the little thing off so you can take a look at it. Here we go. Try not to do shaky cam footage, but this is my squash, you guys. Let me show you. That's what's in here. Yellow straight neck squash. You see them? So I have a cage on there, so when they grow, the cage is already in place. Okay? And I have 50% shade cloth covering it. As you can see, it's maintaining, you guys. It is risky to try to place a little delicate plant like that out in this hot wet weather, but I did it, and it looks like it's going to be okay. All right? And if those don't make it, guess what? Let's walk over here. See that? I'm going to plant those out soon too, but that's plant B. I always say I don't have a plan B, I have a plant B. I always have extras. Those two right there, those are two yellow squash plants also. Okay, so I have those extra plants. I haven't planted them out yet. They're still in their little nursery containers. Okay, and those were up potted. Those were not the original containers. They came in a little tiny container, and I up potted them myself. Okay, so when the time comes, I'm going to plant them out into one of the raised beds, or maybe in a grow bag or something like that. Okay, so since we're right near it, right here is two eggplants. And next to it, right over there, those are my red kidney beans. I have some red kidney beans right over there in this raised bed. And next to that is my purple beauty bell pepper plant. These are all good companion plants, so they're all happy together. One big happy family. Those red kidney beans, that's going to fix nitrogen into the soil. So that's a really good thing. Okay? That'll be my second round of red kidney beans. It's my first time growing eggplant. So I'm just going to pan over a little bit. There's more eggplant here. Santana eggplant and classic eggplant. Next to that is the zucchini. Look how nice and big they're getting. I do need to go in there and start pruning some leaves. I like to prune those lower leaves. Okay, I'm not trying to grow leaves. I wanted to start focusing on blossoms and actually producing the zucchini. That's the same with, once I see that the plant is growing well, like look at that one, look at that Santana right there, and there's lots of blossoms on there, that's when you're going to cut back on nitrogen. There'll still be some nitrogen that I add to it, especially when I feed it, but I want to go higher with the phosphorus and the potassium. Okay, because the phosphorus, because you want the plant to start producing the little blossoms. And as you can see, I'll turn to this one too. We're getting our blossoms. That's going to be an eggplant. That's a potential eggplant right there. This is also a Santana eggplant. This is a Santana eggplant. I think I've showed you the tag before, but that's the tag down there. You see it? Santana. Okay. All right. I'm going to step back so you can see. I wanted you to see that it is under shade cloth. I have draped a shade cloth over that raised bed with the zucchini and the eggplants. And also I've draped shade cloth over here where these eggplants and the red kidney beans over this raised bed. But it's a different percentage. That is 40% over on that side. But right here, and you can look at the difference. If you look at the shade cloth itself, this is 30% shade cloth. You see how it's more see-through and it's much lighter? That's 30% shade cloth. I'll get a little closer to this one. That's 40%. Do you see it's darker? The weave of the cloth is different. It's less see-through. This is 40% shade cloth. Okay? Now, I'll tell you this. I didn't do that on purpose. It just happened that way. I just used whatever shade cloth I had left because I was out of 40% and I needed some more shade cloth, and I noticed I had this, and at the time I didn't even realize it was a different percentage. When I'm talking about percentages, it's the percentage of UV rays that it blocks. So this is gonna block 30% of the UV rays, and that's going to block 40% of the UV rays. And you'll see, I'm trying not to walk around too much shaky cam footage here, but that 40% kind of goes around and it's covering my tomatoes and my bell peppers over here, and also my cucumbers. The cucumbers are partially shaded right here. You see? Uh-oh. But yeah, the cucumbers are also under the shade cloth. The leaves look pretty good. Let's see. They need to be sprayed. Need a little neem oil over here. Some neem max. Okay, but my tomatoes and bell peppers are under here. Like I told you before, I do have some determinate tomatoes that I'm growing. That's a celebrity, that's a determinate. I have another determinate over there. It's also a celebrity. And right here, that is called the Tasty Lee. That's a determinate. I'm seeing some really bad leaves on there. I'm going to trim them off because I don't want, if it's some type of disease, I don't want it to spread. But it also could just be browning leaves because of the weather, because of the hot weather and the rain, some, sporadic rain and whatever. It could just be browning leaves, or it could be a disease. But I normally like to trim off those leaves. But I'm very particular about pruning determinate tomato plants, because with determinates, it only produces a certain amount of fruit. And if you prune it too much, I believe you're going to lose some of your fruit. But if it needs pruning, you can. I'm very careful with how I prune a determinate tomato plant. With an indeterminate, you can prune that and prune the suckers and all of that, and I'm still learning how to do that well. But with the determinates, I try not to prune them as much unless it's necessary. So that Tasty Lee, that's a determinate, and I believe right over there, that may be another celebrity right next to it over there in the corner. Okay? All right, you guys, you've seen everything. I just wanted you to see how everything is progressing. Still under the shade cloth. Okay, I have some more banana peppers right here. My mini bell peppers, those are shishitos. That's sweet shishito peppers. This is my first time growing those. That's a shishito pepper plant there. The candy cane still growing right next to it. This is a mini bell pepper. It's a candy cane, chocolate covered cherry. Okay. Now this is that other celebrity that I was referring to. And as you can see, got some little ugly leaves over on that side. But I'm going to prune those off. I'll cut them off. Just in case. Like I said, if it's a disease, you don't want it to spread. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and prune those off. One thing I've been able to do is leave the peppers on the bush, which I'm loving that. I'm loving that they're able to stay on the plant and change colors. Before, I was having to remove them before they change colors. When they got a certain size, I had to basically save them and go ahead and take them off before they were able to change colors because of just circumstances. It could have been heavy rains and the plant was being damaged by that, or by insects, or by the heat. But because of the shade cloth, I do believe that has brought the temperatures down enough to where, and also for some reason, I see less insect activity, and that is surprising to me. Less insect activity. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that. Don't see as many leaf-footed bugs. I haven't seen that tomato hornworm. Thank you, God. I have not seen the tomato hornworm can destroy a plant overnight almost. It will clean that plant, and it's a huge, big green caterpillar, and it's really, really big, and it will work on a plant, and overnight you will come out and see all the leaves going off of your plant. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the tomato hornworm. That's one reason why I was using thyme. If you notice in certain areas, like right here, you see that's English thyme right there. I was told that planting thyme with your tomato plants, that thyme will repel the cabbage worm. Not the cabbage worm, I'm sorry, the tomato hornworm. The tomato hornworm. They said if you plant thyme with your tomato plants, it will repel the hornworm. Okay? So that's what I've been doing. I don't know if that's why I haven't seen him around or what. But if that's the case, hey, you guys, give it a try. Plant. I know we all plant rosemary. We plant our marigolds. But thyme. If you plant thyme with it, supposedly that helps also. Okay? But like I was saying, being able to leave the peppers on there and let them change colors, that is great. Okay, I harvested a bunch of banana peppers yesterday. Okay, right here. This is actually a yellow bell pepper. And as you can see, I'm able to leave them on there and let them change colors. So that's great. I want you to see something real quick. I want to show you guys this. Remember when I did what I call top dressing. I top dressed a lot of my plants. Well, I was able to top dress all of these, and then I stopped right here. And I noticed a difference. See the color of these plants over here? This is where I stopped. I stopped right here at that plant right there. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did not top dress those plants. What I mean by that is I removed the mulch from the bottom of the plant. I removed that top layer of mulch. I sprinkled in a slow release fertilizer and some bone meal. And then I covered it in my very own compost that I made. I covered it in compost, and then I added the mulch back to the top. I just gave it some fresh mulch. I did that with all these plants that you see over here. I want you to look at the leaves and look at the coloring. Now we're going to go down here. Look at the leaves on these plants. That's the difference. I wasn't doing it as an experiment. I just got tired. I just got tired, and then I never got back to it. But these plants over here did not get that top dressing. And do you notice the difference in the leaves? Okay? You saw that, right? Now let me move over. Look at these. You see the difference? Okay? So that top dressing, it works. It works for me. I do it quite often. When I see a plant like it looks like it needs a little boost of nutrients, and I feel like it's been in that same soil for quite some time, and you need to just kind of Add some fresh soil, add some organic material, which is the compost, and add some fertilizer, right? A slow release fertilizer in that bone meal. The bone meal, add that, and then put that mulch on top of it. Not mulch, compost. And then always add that layer of mulch. The mulch is to help retain moisture in the soil. Okay, that's also going to keep it everything nice and healthy during the heat of the summer. Okay, and also mulch will help retain when it's colder weather. It helps retain the heat in the soil. Remember that, you guys, because fall is coming. So when the temperatures start getting cooler, having things mulched in will also, having mulch on the top of a layer of your soil will also help it retain the heat. Okay? It helps retain heat, helps retain moisture. All right. Now I'm going to quickly share with you guys, just letting you look at everything. Okay? My cherry tomatoes, they're holding on. They're holding on. Okay? At one point, I was harvesting cherry tomatoes every single day. The production of these tomatoes have slowed down. But if I keep them healthy and keep them strong, then when the temperatures cool down, they will start producing again. Because they're not dormant. I do not think that they're dormant. I don't think the heat has done that to them. I feel like they will start producing again. I want to show you something quickly over here. And I'm going to have to talk up just a little bit because I'm over here near the AC. Right here in this blue raised bed. Remember when I planted out early perfection peas? Right? Look, the tag's still there. In memorial to, okay? Because those peas did not make it. It was so hot, they didn't make it. So I'm going to have to try to plant some peas later on when the temperatures cool down. But instead, in its place, I decided to put some more cucumbers out. And as you can see, the cucumbers are doing fine. And this is, just to let you see, what's draped over it, that is 50% shade cloth. It's covered in 50% shade cloth. All right, so that's helping also keep things cool in this area. And so I'll have more cucumbers. Now that's a great example of succession planting. I have cucumber plants over there now that are actually producing. And these were planted way after. And so once those plants are not producing anymore, these plants will be mature and they will be producing more cucumbers. Okay? Very quickly, in this raised bed, this is where I'm trying to grow some more sweet corn. Right here is silver and gold sweet corn. And I direct sowed the seeds into this raised bed. Had to fight the birds, but I managed to get the plants to grow. The birds were actually coming and picking the corn seeds out of the soil. So I was able to come out here and fight the birds and get my corn going. And here's some more corn over here. This is early golden bantam over here. Fighting the insects on this one. And over here, this is the silver and gold. This is my okra over here. Jambalaya okra. As you can see, I have more okra going right there. Turn around, there's blossoms. That's potential okra here. Right there. And over here, this is the Clemson spineless. That one, look, it's leaning over. I'm going to go ahead and cut those off. It's so heavy that it's leaning over. So I'm going to get those. All right. Okay, you guys, right here in this raised bed, I told you I wanted to share something new that I was trying, right? Right here in this raised bed, I am growing carrots. It's an old tag there that says carrots. There's a different way that I planted the seeds or sowed the seeds for these carrots. I'm trying something new. I actually brought the little packages with me. Look. This is called seed tape, right? Easy tape, plantable seed tape. In this bed is growing, I'm growing scarlet nantes and also salad bowl lettuce using this seed tape. So over here on this side, the majority of it is going to be your carrots. Over on that side, I think about 2 strips down there. That's the lettuce, but the majority of it is going to be carrots, scarlet nantes. I'm gonna open it up so you can actually see what the seed tape looks like. So this is the seed tape. I'm spreading it out so you can see. See, it's light and airy because it's like fine tissue paper. And it's actually biodegradable. I'm gonna hold it where you can see. Do you see the seeds in there? You see how the seeds are basically spread out? Okay? It's spread out like that for a reason. Because right here it tells you that it it basically eliminates the need to have to come back and thin out your carrots. If you've ever broadcast seeds or sowed seeds for carrots, you know that they're extremely small, and you don't even know how many that you're dropping in a certain area. So you have to basically come back later on once they begin to sprout. Then you can come back and thin them out because you actually don't want them too close together. They can't grow properly if they're grouped too close together. They'll be small. So with this tape, and I'll show you, let you look at it again. You see how the seeds are spread out? Once you place that in the soil, and you basically just lay the seed tape down, as you can see, the seeds are already spaced. You're going to cover it in soil. This is biodegradable tissue. It's literally going to dissolve in the soil, and the seeds are going to be spaced out the way they should be. You won't have to come back and thin the seeds out. Right here's the instructions right on the back. You see, basically you're going to place the tape in the soil, cover it, water it, and that's it. You don't have to come back later on and thin them out because they're already spaced out. So I did that in this raised bed, and over there I have the lettuce, this salad bowl lettuce. I have that planted over there, and it comes in strips. You just tear off what you need and you place it in the soil, cover it, water it in, and you're done. So I'm giving this a try, and we'll see as it grows and progresses. I will give you updates, and we will see at the end of this little experiment just how well the seed tape works. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's something fun that I'm trying. Okay? Okay, you guys, I've pretty much showed you everything that's going on in the garden right now. And like I said before, I'm happy with the way things are going right now. In spite of the heat, I'm able to maintain the garden. That's all I can ask for, is that everything is still green and healthy and still able to produce, even though the tomatoes in this heat, they do slow down production. You do have blossom drop. It's when it's too hot and the blossoms, they can't pollinate and they will drop off. So you have that. But I think using the shade cloth, I actually saw a few little tomatoes growing. I don't know if you were able to see them because I was kind of moving pretty quick. But there, I see where there's little tomatoes growing on some of those plants out there. So they're still able to produce. They have not gone dormant because of this, the excessive heat. They're still healthy plants. So think about it. When the temperatures begin to drop, we're good to go. When the temperatures begin to drop, when we get back down to the 80s, right? We're good to go. You will see if you're having problems where you've seen your tomatoes, they've stopped producing like they were before, that's because of the heat. And when things cool down, your tomatoes will start producing again. You'll see the blossoms begin to, you'll start setting fruit, basically. And so right now, all I can ask for is everything to stay green and healthy. And then when those temperatures drop, you'll see things really begin to produce. But like I said, I'm harvesting cucumbers and peppers and okra almost every day. And my peppers, I'm able to leave them on the plant and let them continue to change colors and to continue to ripen on the plant. I can't ask for anything more. Everything is still healthy. So we're going to transition from this warm weather into some cooler weather, and it's going to be good. Everything's good to go. So I'm happy about that. I just wanted to give you a quick update of what's going on, and I hope you guys are having success with your gardens, that you're able to beat the heat, that you're able to maintain and keep everything healthy in your garden. Okay, you guys? So I'm going to sign off now. And I hope you enjoyed the tour. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. And I will talk to you later. Bye now.